Guys, take a minute to talk to you today about you can pay me now or you can pay me later. Maybe you remember that commercial. But one of the things we do as men is when pain comes into our life, we have two options. We can avoid it and we can try to build survival techniques around it, or we can take it head on and deal with it. The problem is that when we avoid pain, regardless of how we avoid it, that only ends up bringing more pain. And in fact, what causes the pain to begin with, when we avoid it, actually causes more problems than the original problem itself had we just dealt with it immediately. Take, for example, you start to feel like you're getting out of shape. So rather than deal with pain of discipline to go to the gym, change your diet, get a trainer, whatever it takes, you do things like you take the elevator at work rather than the stairs. You drive around in the mall parking lot for 20 minutes until you can find a close spot. You maybe even get a handicap sticker for your car so you can park close. You start to do all these things to deal with the fact that you're out of shape. You cut back on activities because you're out of shape, and that way you don't realize how out of shape you are. You quit playing softball, or maybe you become the catcher instead of an outfielder. You know, all these little things that we do, and they're survival techniques. The problem is that they're only meant to help us survive and not thrive. There are all kinds of different ways that this happens. A lot of times we mask pain with substances. We've got a problem in a relationship or a problem at work or an emotional issue. And rather than deal with it head on and finding someone who can help us and talk through it, going to God with it, we end up, taking a drug, taking a drink, but over time we end up having to do that just to feel normal. And then in time, we keep doing that until the point where now we're doing it just to barely feel subnormal. And now we do it just to feel miserable because we're addicted. See, the issue itself, when you took some avoidance, that avoidance made everything worse. That's the way it is in anyone's life. But men, we have a special gift. We have the gift to avoid things right up to the point of where we lose our life. And it shouldn't be that way. Let me read you scripture. Hebrews chapter 12, verses 1 and 2. Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles us, and let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us, fixing our eyes on Jesus. Notice he doesn't say, learn how to run better entangled. Do more exercises so you can run entangled. He says, no, deal with the issue. Whatever's entangling you, whatever you're doing to deal and mask the pain, whatever you're doing to avoid it, deal with that, go head on to the problem, head into the pain, and make a difference. Because again, remember, what you're doing in dealing with that pain, that avoidance becomes a bigger problem. It becomes a bigger problem. I'll end with this. You blame others for relationship problems that you're having. Your marriage, or every relationship self-destructs, or you don't think any girl wants to date you, and you have all these excuses. And the truth is you avoid that and deal with your loneliness or your issues other ways. Again, substance abuse, masturbation, porn, whatever it might be. And while that is an avoidance technique, the back end of it creates so many more problems in every other area of your life. Spiritually, you become deaf, hard-hearted, your self-esteem plummets, and again, it increases addiction and anger in the brain. And if you would have just dealt with that first pain rather than avoid it, it wouldn't then have caused all these other problems. Guys, I'm begging you, please, deal with your issues head on. Take them right to the cross. Take them to a professional psychiatrist, counselor, Christian counselor. Deal with them, whatever it takes. Get rid of that, because if you're avoiding something right now in your life, and you know you're avoiding with something, you can begin to see how it begins to sprout and build other things in your life that are not healthy, that are not good. And in time, that one issue will be nothing compared to all the other problems that avoiding it has brought into your life. So please deal with it. Don't let it go. Keep slaying giants.